Yes guys, I'm back. I'm back with another one, and I'm going to go through BTC today, show you the zones I've got marked out, where we could be going. Has FOMO kicked in? Is retail back? They're the questions that we're going to ask today. Going to go through this, going to go through USDT dominance, going to go through BTC dominance, and just have a little look at the charts in general. I've got a few other things to show you as well. But yeah, let's get straight into it, guys. Right, so I'm on BTC and I'm having a little look at the area that we're at the minute. And I did point out in my last video that this zone here, this 100 to 102k, were an important zone where there has been a lot of buying pressure that's been coming into the market. Also on the volume profile, if we get that up, that's previous week's value area low, previous week's value area high, and the point of control. So what we did Monday, we came all the way back down into the zone, one confluence, previous week's value area low, and held, and then we went up back to this zone, another important zone where people are selling in that zone. And I know for a fact that everybody got FOMO here. I know for a fact. You can just see it in the charts. That's what people do. They get FOMO and they're like, I'm going to miss out. I'm going to miss out. I'm not right bothered if I miss out. I rebought BTC round here. I think it was about 82k when I seen that zone getting consolidated in. And I bought it back. And the reason I bought it back was, if you get a fixed range volume profile and you go Monday to Sunday and you have a little look at that zone there, we did close below Wednesday, but we got bought back up straight away. Also another confluence. That's why I love the volume profile. If we go back to the previous Monday and get another one, bring it to the Sunday, you can actually see that it were consolidating above that value area high. For me to take a short there, I'd really want to see it that candle to fall back into that value area, and then I could have potentially shorted it back down to 77. I didn't see that, and I seen it holding above that zone there. So which made me think there's a lot of buyers sat in here. So another thing that I'm looking at where we are at the minute, so I sold my BTC around here. If I go back, I sold it because of that consolidation there. And if I get another volume profile up, Monday to Sunday, if you have a little look here, excuse my voice at the minute. I was coaching kids last night because I'm a football coach as well, and my voice has gone. This zone here at 102, you can clearly see that this zone were where I wanted to sell. And that was just using the volume profile. The last point of control were there at 104-ish. Into that value area at 102. So I sold it out there. Which I got, I think it was around 20%. So when it came back in there, I bought, it was about 82. So it was around here. And I sold it out at 102-ish. I got a 25% move. I'm not worried that I missed 4%. I'm not worried. I got 25, so I got out. So where we are at the minute, we're in another important zone. If we add in the volume at the same time, if we look here, the volume was increasing, declining, increasing, and then started to decline again. Bearish volume started to come in here. And what if BTC is going to do the flush, which I'd love it to do, come into that zone, break it, into that, break it, and come and hold this node here, which is a point of control, a major point of control. There's gaps in there and in there. This zone we hold, I'll start to buy back again. I'm not getting FOMO because BTC's here. I'd rather wait for a better zone to buy. So this was a trade that I took yesterday. Go down to the 15-minute. Because I'm a day trader as well. That trade there, to be honest, I could have got a better one. I could have bought it down here. You know, say I did. My stop would have had to have been below there. And it'd have been a 1 to 2. Whereas I bought it when it come back above the point of control. And my stop was below the value area low. So I got a little bit more out of it. And, you know, like I said before, I'm not being a... well, we'll just say I'm not being a dick when I say that, you know, these volume profiles are good. They are good. They're really good. And the only thing that's worrying me is the declining volume. That wick will probably be filled. We're back inside the value area at the minute. If you have a little look, we've come back inside it. A significant close below, possibly see us come back down into here. And possibly down into here. This is my new weekly volume profile that's developing at the minute. I know there's a lot of sausages on Twitter, and they're like, we're going to new all-time highs. I'm not saying we're not. We could. I just want to see more volume coming in. That's what I'd love to see. More volume coming in here. And at the minute, volume is declining. So that's my take on BTC. We're probably going to get a retrace back into this zone. Holding this zone would be perfect. If we can, and we do a bit similar to this, up, down, up, down, up, down, then yeah, we probably are going to retrace into these zones. Because if you look at the main value area, where most of the volume is, it's here. And like I've said before, coins tend to want to come back to these zones where the volume is. Was that a relief rally? I can't say. But looking at the chart at the minute, you know, we've got a lot of gaps that have not been filled. And as we all know, markets like to be efficient. And that move there wasn't very efficient. It was just an absolute monster push up. Another thing that I want to look at, everybody wants alt season. Sorry about the white screen. Unfortunately, we're not in it. We're in Bitcoin season still. Alt season were there in December, and it didn't last long, because most alt seasons don't last long. We had another mini alt season in January. And in August 22 to around September, you had a nice alt season there. At the minute, we're in Bitcoin season still. And as you all know, if Bitcoin comes down into here and does a retracement of 8%, altcoins are probably going to retrace 30%. And that's just how it is. So, you know, don't get FOMO. There's very little volume at the top here. You know, you can start to nibble down in these zones. But don't get FOMO. Don't listen to these tweets. If you missed a rally, you missed a rally. There's always going to be another opportunity. If you miss that, another 20%, so be it. But I really want to see us go through this zone here with a big candle, a big, strong candle like this one, a little retracement, and then I'll think about possibly buying for that move into there. If not, I'll sit on the sidelines. I'm not bothered. You know, I've learned my lesson over the years. People tend to get FOMO up here, and a coin ends up going down into here. They sell in here. The coin starts to rally. They buy again here. The coin drops into here. And people don't learn. Whereas I've learned. So, you know, heed that warning and learn. Right, let's have a little look at ETH. While we're at it, we might as well. ETH at the minute. Do you know what I'm going to do with ETH? I'm going to remark out all these zones for you and just show you how I do it. Right, removed all them. Weekly. Right. ETH all-time high. I don't know, it might have been bigger. I can't remember what ETH's all-time high was. Right. At the minute, in the main volume profile, we're rejecting the value area high. Okay? Possible retracement into around 16, 17. I know people are going to buy it here. It's just what people do. And then they sat there and like, oh God, it went down 1,000,000%. I bought it here like an absolute sausage. What am I doing? Well, don't be part of that crowd. So if we get a volume profile from Monday to Sunday, So on the daily, I'm going to drop into the 30-minute. Right. So we have, what I'll do is, I'll get my trusty little lines, put that in. I've got it already marked out. Previous week's value area high, as you can see there. Previous week's value area low, I've got another template for that there. And then previous week's point of control, I've got a template for that there. Have a look how it reacts off of the previous week's point of controls and value areas. Can you see that? So I could even bring it a bit further on. Sunday, 11:30. It might change it slightly. Point of control in the same place. Just refine it a little bit. Right. So they are my previous week's levels. Can you see how they've reacted from the levels? Reaction drop. So what was that? 10% decline. We've had a 2% decline at the minute. You know, look at that. We have a double dip. And then we go. So that's my previous week's value areas. The current ones go from Monday at 12 to Tuesday. And I've also got one for this. Whereas what this will do is this will develop over the week. And then I can have them levels marked out. I'll still keep these levels from the week before. But these levels will start being my new levels in Ethereum. And then what I'll also do is, so I've got these levels. Look, value area high, last week's point of control, and we've started to decline. These moves always happen at silly o'clock in the morning. I'm not up at trading at that time. So yesterday, once it comes back into the value area, you know, you can take some off it there. It comes back, retraces to previous week's value area low, rallies up to last week's point of control and the value area high, and then drops back into the point of control. Exactly what it's doing at the minute. Go back into the daily. So the next point that I'm going to mark out is the week before. So say that week was Monday the 12th. I've got Monday the 5th. And I'll drag it to Sunday the 11th. So now what I've got is another volume profile showing me where this could potentially be going. And lo and behold, go to the 30-minute. I'm just going to there a minute. Let me just add this group. Previous week's value area. I can lock them in, close them off a minute. The fixed range. This, I need to change the template to the 13. Right. Even better. Absolutely beautiful. That's what I want to see. Right, so the week before that, I won't mark these levels out because I can physically see these levels. Have a look where Ethereum reacted Monday. Monday the 5th of May. We've got Monday the 19th of May. Have a look at that level there. So what I'll do is just for now, I'll mark it. Have a look at that level. Look at its reaction at that level. Perfect reaction at Monday the 5th of May, the value area high, which we had all this volume in here. And look at what it did. It came in, tapped it, came back up. I know for a fact people bought it there. That's what people do. And then it retraced. Everyone got stopped out. And then we rallied 10% yesterday. Just having that on your chart, on your smaller time frame, shows you that, yeah, that's a good level. Let's buy it. Close it out at the Monday the 12th of May, point of control. Simple as that. So easy. But everybody's out there with like 60 million indicators on the chart. We've got an RSI, we've got a stochastic RSI, we've got an upside down triangle, we've got a descending triangle, an ascending triangle, upside down circle, a backwards forward square. Why do you need all that? You just see that level there, look at the reaction. Pretty easy. If we were to drop in and do that, then it's got a potential to come back into here or here. These levels are significant levels. Your trading becomes so much easier when all you're doing is trading levels. Don't get FOMO here. You did get a nice 20% move. But don't get FOMO, because most of the time, you'll buy in there, and it'll do that, and you'll lose 20%. You need to be careful with the levels that you're buying, and just keep an eye on certain levels. So you can go even one further. Then I've got another one here Monday. To Sunday. And I've got another level there. A point of control lines up with that. Value area low, value area high. Once we're back above these sort of levels, you're going to go. So that's just a little tip for you. Use this. It'll help you out so much. Right. Excuse me. Came out of nowhere. So, another thing, let's have a little look at liquidations. I ain't loaded up my actors today. I'll do it in my next video. But I do want to do a full video on Atos at some point to show everybody what to look at. And, you know, I will load my Atos up and I'll look at CVD as well. See what's going on. So, over the 24 hours, we've got 104, 103 liquidation levels. I'm going to go to the bigger time frame. I'm going to go to the year now. And if you look over the year, we've got a few, say 60, 70 billion below us in the 70s. In the 80s, got about the same. In the 90s, got about the same. Between 60 and 100 billion. But overall below us here, we've probably got what? maybe 500 billion. Looking up above us, did it tag that area? Yeah, 107, 20 billion. Took it out. And up above us, say we've got about 500 billion below us. Up above us, around, we'll just give it a rough estimate of about 100 billion up above us on the larger time frame. Can you see that? And that's on the larger time frame. Go to a weekly, have a little look on the weekly, see what we've got sat. On the weekly, we've got 131 million at 107. 101. So say we've got around 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion below us in these zones here. Above us, probably got about similar, between 1 and 2 billion sat up above us. So it's, at the minute, like I was saying, it's just a bit of a guessing game at the minute. I'd love to see BTC come back down into these zones. I'd love to see it. But I'm not going to get FOMO up here in these zones. I'm just not going to do it. I'd rather sit on cash and let my cash and just add to my portfolio, or just leave the cash that's in there. But there's significantly more liquidations below us than above us. But all you're hearing on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, all you're hearing is up only. You never hear about the liquidations that's below us. You never do. You only ever hear about the liquidations above us. And that to me is a real bad sign. So you can listen to them if you want, but you want somebody that's real. You want somebody that's actually showing you where it is. Not, oh, so-and-so is going to be liquidated up at 110k. But they're not telling you at 92, 90, 91, 89, all the liquidation below. They're just telling you what's above. Start playing it smart. Stop listening to all these absolute dingles. Sorry about the white screen. I've not loaded it up this time. I should have loaded it up. Been a bit slack this morning. So 24-hour liquidations. Short liquidations 43, 51, long 16 and 25. Not really a lot. Just having a little look. Long to short. Got a lot of people, most people that are short at the minute. Less people that are long. We've got here 24-hour wrecked. 138 million short, 83 million long. So it really wouldn't surprise me if it flushes down now to take out these longs. Like I've said before, people, genuinely, people do not look at actual data. They just think, well, it's going up, it's going up. But if we have a little look here, look at the rate of longs to shorts. There's more longs than these shorts in this ratio here. That's potentially telling me we're getting ready for a bit of a pullback. Because people are not going to be like, oh, I'm taking profit. If it were me, I'd be taking profit. You know, they want that extra. Let's go BTC. Instead of taking profit like a sensible person, They want that extra 10%. They want that. Why hold it and wait for 10% or whatever it is, 5-10%, when you could wait, potentially let it drop into these zones, start to build your longs up again, and potentially get, say we drop into these 80s, and it does rally to 120, 130, and get a 50%. So what's the reason to be like, I'm holding, when say you have bought it down in these zones, say you have bought it where I bought it at 82, and you're holding out, you've already got 30% there. Take your money. Because if you don't take your money, you're only going to give it back. Because that's what people do. They don't take the money and they give it back. And then they sat there holding a bag of dicks. I see it all the time. It's just one of them things I see all the time. Have we got any data coming up? I should have loaded all these up before. My apologies. I've really been slack this morning. Been up since 6:30. I should have already had all this done. So a little look when it loads in. Oh, significant coming in. Not really. We've got Powell speaking next Monday. Prepare for volatility. We've got a conference on the Tuesday, 27th of May. Has Bitcoin been priced in for that conference? You know, we need to have a little look at that. I don't know what else. I'm going to look at Dex Screener. Let's have a little look at Dex Screener. Having a little look at the market cap. And look who's at the top for that coin. So while we're at it, when this loads up, while we're at it, why not have a little look at it? We might as well, haven't we? Seeing as people want us to buy a coin that's about bodily function, that is natural. Let's have a look. Go to the daily. So we've got some levels marked out here on it. I had a liquidation level there. Oh, we wiped it. Not wiped that yet. So, look, it's just stepping up onto these levels that I've had marked out for a while now. So, volume profile, Monday to Sunday. This is last week's volume profile. Down into the 30 minute. Let's drag it along. So I can refine my levels on certain coins. So holding above on the 30 minute, but then we get a flush at 104 and we go down 17%. We come back inside, we fall back out and go back up. This week's volume profile at the minute, I'll do that in a second. Let's go back to the previous week. Monday to Sunday. No real significant level where I wanted to buy. But you can have a little look where it did drop in. You'd expect it to tag this. But I don't think on these sort of coins people are using this, to be honest with you. You know, that there might be, there might not be. But these significant levels, if you have a little look, last week's value area low got tagged and dropped. We're coming back up to test it again, potentially testing 1.3, and if we get back above it, there's a possibility of testing around 1.4 again. Falling below, which we are at the minute, there's a zone at around 1.1, and then another zone at around 9 cents. So they're levels of interest to watch. Market cap is high, as you can see. Volume is in these tokens here. IOT, I don't know. Let's have a little look at IOT. Volume is high in it. Not a lot of data. Possibly. Well, MEXC is going to have most data because they list it when it's like -1. Because MEXC are just pure degen. That's this week. Last week, Monday to Sunday. Let's have a little look where we are. I'll get another one in. Monday to Sunday. I need to change them. Wrong thing. So now what we can do is drop into the 30-minute, have a little look, see where we're at, see what we're doing. So drag it to 11.30 so I can get more refined levels. Drag it there so I get more refined levels. So at the minute, it's getting accepted below the value area low. And you can just, you know, with a lot of coins, look at how that there wicked back up into the previous week, not Monday the 12th, but Monday the 5th, how it wicked back into that zone. When was that? Friday. But that were early hours of the morning again. So you're not really going to, unless you sat on charts 24/7 and you're absolutely killing your mental health, then yeah, you probably were in that. You had a 13% decline once it got below that. We can go a step further, like I've shown you. Get another profile. Monday the 28th. Mark that out. To Sunday. And have a little look at these levels as well. So that's previous value area low. The week before that is the point of control. Falling back into this zone. Could potentially see a drop back into this zone here at around 265.20. Possibly, because there's a lot of gaps that need to be filled. So that's possibly, if we stay below here at 3.6, that's potentially a zone to get some profit. So if you want to look at a trade here, put your stop above there, above that point of control, because if it's going to come back up, it's going to take you out either way. And you're going to be looking at something like that. Because if you're having a look at the volumes dropping, lots of volume in here. At the minute, volume has gone. So that there's a potential trade on the 30-minute time frame to have a little look at. And all I'm doing is using levels where points of control value areas were previously. So that's a trade you can have a look at. If it stops you out, it stops you out. You know, you're trading at your own risk, but that's something that I'm probably going to look at to potentially get a flush down into these zones. I'm just trying to think if I've got anything else to have a little look. Like I say, my apologies for white screens. Let's have a little look at the fear and greed. At the minute, where we are, you know, fear and greed is a good thing. You know, if it gets up into here, you know, you've potentially got another area where you can short. Last month, what? Fear at 37, and it rallied. So just keep an eye on them zones. I'm looking at a potential flush down, possibly into these zones, but we'll see. So we'll have a little look, and we'll come back again next week. I might try and do another one at the end of the week, and we'll see where we're at, see what's gone on. I'll keep an eye on that coin. IOT, I'll keep an eye on that. And yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. And I'll be back either at the end of the week or possibly next week. Don't forget my links in the chat below. CWP, we've got Buy Me a Coffee links, Slim's Bot, Blowfin links, James's Baccarat indicators. Come and join us in CWP, see what we're about. So yeah, I'm going to get off now, and I will catch you in the next one. Happy trading, guys.